Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? It is Tuesday, my dudes and duets. Duets? Dudes and dudettes. Duets. Hello, RepRap controller firmware boards. How are you all doing today? So, I'm just going to preface, I don't know how long the stream will be today. I kind of woke up with a frog in my throat, and I don't know how long I can talk for. So, we'll see how much I can push my luck, and I'll probably regret it tomorrow. But it is what it is. So, hello. I identify as an SKR 1.3. There you go. Okay, so today's stream, a little bit of fun. People have been asking me to do this since we unboxed this thing, but when you're reviewing a printer, you can't go changing it until the review is out. And the review is out. So if you haven't seen the video on the KP3S, go watch that after the stream or in another window. But the review is out, which now means we can have some fun. So a lot of people have been asking me to put Klipper on this. So let's do that. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully. So we're going to install Klipper on it. I've got the firmware flashing right now to the board. I've got a Pi 3A that I actually just ripped out of that guy and upgraded to a Pi 4 a little while ago. So why am I using a Pi 3A? Well, because I don't want to dig into this. But eventually, we're going to use the Pi so we can set it up, do input shaper, get all of our information and everything for input shaper, and then we're going to take the SD card out, put it in a Raspberry Pi Zero. Because I've got like three zeros, like zero W's, like first gen zeros, which, as you know, is not powerful enough to run input shaper. However, once you already have the values for it, you don't need to run it again. So we're going to install it with this, get everything set up, and then I'm just going to put a Raspberry Pi Zero in there somewhere. Hopefully I can, hopefully there's UART on the board. I don't know if there's UART on the board. Is this a mystical? This Pi I've had for like, literally, this is the very first Raspberry Pi I ever bought. I bought this thing before I even got into 3D printing. This is like from like 2016. So that's what we're going to do. Because I've got zeros. I've got... Yeah, I've got like 3 or 4 zeros just chilling. But they can't run input shaper. But for a printer like this, they'll run Klipper just fine. So we got that done. So that's what we're going to do. Pi 02 is good for input shaper. Yes, the Pi 02 is fine. The Pi 02 is as powerful as a Pi 3A, pretty much. So a Pi 02 is actually a very, that's what we have in the Prusa. That's what I put in the Prusa. It can handle a webcam, Octoprint, it's fine. Pi 02, honestly, is your best bang for your buck controller for a 3D printer, in my opinion. There we go. It's looking a little dark. The problem is, as you know, you can't bleep and find them. That's the problem. That is the problem. Also, another problem, I got to find a USB-B cable. Or micro cable, or whatever it's called. Ooh. Yeah. Thomas, member for 10 months. Cheers. Hey, Klipper on all your printers? Yeah. All my printers run Klipper. All of the printers I've built run Klipper. None of my machines run anything other, except for my commercial machines. The Prusa is running Prusa version of Marlin. That's the only commercial machine I'm regularly using. This is running Marlin, not for long. Language. Hey, I self-censored. Okay, I gotta find a USB micro cable. I found to have one somewhere. There we go. Okay. Boop. So you go in there. Nope. Aha. Take the SD card out. Plug you in. Huzzah! Did I get the longer pins? Yep. Yep, we did that on a stream. You missed it. We did that, I think, last Tuesday. So I'm still waiting for the longer ribbon cable to come in so I can actually hook up a camera properly. But yeah, the Prusa's got Octoprint on it. Some people are asking me why I didn't do Prusa Connect. Prusa Connect is pretty dang bare bones. Like, there's no webcam support. There's no add-on support. It's like, I can understand if you're doing a print farm, Prusa Connect. But I want to do all the Octoprint add-on stuff. So we're booting up the Pi. By the way, for those that don't know, okay, let me make sure I don't give anything away. Okay. Yeah, I think we're okay. When you use the Raspberry Pi Imager, click the gear icon here. Okay. You can automatically have like all your Wi-Fi information and passwords and everything saved in here. So that way, when you go to flash a Raspberry Pi, like Octoprint, Mainsail, whatever you use the Imager for, you don't have to like go back in and add your Wi-Fi information. You can bake it into the image. So, Schlopnot gifted 10 community memberships. Cheers. And Steve, thank you for becoming a member. And everyone else, welcome. And everyone, I've got a special announcement to make. Everyone, clap your hands. Sanity, she finally got her Voron cereal. So everyone, I need a round of applause in chat. Sanity finally got her Voron serial number. It's been many a fortnight, but they finally got their serial number. Congratulations! Yeah, everyone gather around. It's like the end of Evangelion. Everyone stand around and just say congratulations. Mainsail. Oh, Mainsail's here. I've been using Mainsail a lot lately. To be fair, I probably should go back just to keep things equal and go back and play around with Fluid because it's been a while. I do try to give equal sharing to both. So Lurk Plus, thank you for coming a member. Okay, I gotta find the IP address of this because I've got a million things connected to me. Wi-Fi, system info, login. Okay, Florin 100. Ron, I don't know what that exactly entails, but cheers, awesome, thank you. Ron, what is Ron? Ron. I'm getting okay at learning all the currencies of the world. Are you called Fluid Pi? Why are you called Fluid Pi? Are you Fluid Pi? No, that's not Fluid Pi. Copy. Nope. Okay, so that's that printer. So you are V226. Okay, so then where is... Why do I have two V226s in my system? Oh. Why do I have two? This is not making sense. So that's that one, 6, 7. Is it possible to have two? What's going on here? There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is that one. That's right. Everything was kind of freaking out because this was originally in there, so the IP address for this was set up for the IP address for that, and like links were all kind of screwed up and whatnot. 3 months longest relationship in 6 years. It's Romanian. Okay, it's Ron Swanson's currency. Okay, so we are installing Klipper on. Oh wow, I'm gonna kill my voice today. We are installing Klipper on the KP3S. So we got a Raspberry Pi. I'm just going in over USB. We don't need to be fancy yet. I will down the line probably put this on a Raspberry Pi Zero over UART, but for now we're just gonna go, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So first things first, how we're going to go through this. I'm going to try and make this like an instructional in case somebody else is watching from home. So maybe I'll be smart and actually put timeline info on this video. So how do you install Klipper? So I'm going to assume you know how to install Klipper, but how do you install Klipper on a machine you've never installed Klipper on before? Well, first things first, you go to the config section on the Klipper GitHub, and you take a look. Is there a config here for the KP3S? Okay, because a lot of common printers already have default configs. So, you know, there's the ANET A8, Anycubic, CR10 Mini, but it appears that we don't have anything for Kingroon. Okay, so I searched, I can't find Kingroon. How do I get my Voron serial? If you go on the Voron website in under community, I think there's like a whole web page that tells you all kinds of stuff, including how to get a thing. But basically, post a picture of it printing, or post a video of it printing, where you can see the whole machine, see all the wiring's good, and post it to the subreddit or one of the subreddits. I believe it's also pinned in on the Voron GitHub in the or the frequently asked questions section or something. Music. Oh yeah, music. Okay. So here is the conundrum. Now wrong button. Now I know I think it's a Robin. Okay, so it's a Robin. I don't know exactly which version of the Robin it is. So we don't have a pre-made config for this printer, but we do have the controller board, because if you watch my review, this is a Robin. The controller board in here is a Robin. So we have two ways of going about this now. We can either install Klipper, you know, make the firmware for the flash for the Robin, install that, and make our configuration from scratch. However, I'm lazy. So we're going to hope somebody else has already done the work. So what you do is you go to Google or your search engine of choice if you are somebody who likes to Bing things, and you type in KP3S or whatever printer you have, and you type Klipper. And you hope somebody else has already done this. Oh, look at this. 3D Print Beginner has a nice guide on how to install Klipper on the Kingroon KP3S. There we go. Hard part done. DuckDuckGo. Yeah, we promised not to sell your information. By the way, we're selling your information. So yeah, Google is your friend, okay, when it comes to like this kind of stuff for 3D printing. Because there's probably somebody on a subreddit posted a question about something, or very rarely are you the first one to encounter a problem with something or try to do something on a 3D printer, especially more common ones. Can I have my bonsai config? I would have to power up the machine to get it. Remind me later? Yeah, it is. It's pretty much like the Ender 3 config, by the way. I just like, it's whatever the default config is for the controller board, and then I just adjusted the variables. It's a very basic config. Okay, so why install Klipper? Blah, 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 blah. We know why we're installing Klipper. So 3D Print Beginners using Kiao. I don't use Kiao. I just use regular mainsail. So that's just how I do it. I don't like running extra things unless I have to. I know it's not like it's super heavy duty. Believe me, I know. But okay, so what is my IP address? It's 202. So that is online. Paste. Oh, it's KBox? No, not KBox. Why? No. Nope. I have so many random, like, paste. I have so many random pies that have been like reused over the years. So I have like so many different like K-Box. What is K-Box? What is, okay, that's Pat 5. There's the Prusa brand Prusa. Pico. What is the Pico? Like I've got so many different things over the years. The Prusa config seems to be super outdated. Probably. Usually the default config is whatever the first one is uploaded and approved to the GitHub, and then not often does somebody go in there and update it. Okay, so because this is Klipper, we've already gone through that. So CD Klipper, boom. You would think by now I have all these commands memorized. However, you would be severely wrong. Okay, so we need to enable that. It's an STM32. STM32. Oh, this is different than the one I got. Actually, shoot, do we even have... Are we running the GD? I can't remember. What are we running on here? Let me make sure. Is this the right one? So this is the KP3S. So that's the one I got. Microcontroller, STM32, KP3S. Okay, that's a new option. 28 kilobit bootloader. Communication via USB. We're just going to leave it at USB for now. These GPI pin. Yeah, you can tell it's an older one. Okay. PC6. Yep. Okay. Same flashing procedure. It'll be a little bit different because it's a Robin, so it's not an SKR. So disable SW. So this is a Giga device. So I'm pretty sure we have the GD processor. So this is something new for the GD processors because not all of them. This isn't a true STM32. I'm pretty sure we have the GD one. I'm pretty dang sure we do. So I'm gonna enable this here, or disable this. Okay. And then exit, save configuration, yes. And what is it? It's make. Oh yeah, so Kiao uses different stuff, but I like just the traditional make. Let that run. There's a new convention for CNCs and Subaru that's located in California. It's called SockOn. It's really interesting. Wow, that sounds super interesting. That's the Society of Additive Works, right? The Society of Additive Works convention, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then what's the command that I use to save this? Okay, I've got like a little cheat sheet of common Klipper commands. So I run this, boom, spits that out. Now I go over here, machine. Oh, hey, there's my firmware file. Download. Any tips for depinning Molex microfits? Buy the really expensive tool. That's pretty much the only thing. Like, you need a very specific tool to do it. It's not something that's, you know, you can do easily, unfortunately. Cut the cable. Pretty much. I usually just redo it at that point. Okay, so we do that. Copy the file. So let me make sure I don't show you anything I'm not supposed to. Downloads. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I've already copied it over, so I got to rename it to Robin underscore nano dot bin, and then exit that. And then plug the SD card into your printer and turn it on. The firmware will be installed and the touch room will be blank. Wait 15 seconds and restart your printer. Okay. Let's see if we did it right or if we killed it. We shall find out. No, focus over here. So it's saying this should be blank, but it just says TFT updating 100%. Heh. Smoke test. Well, I just plugged it in. We shouldn't be having smoke. If anything, I'm just gonna, you know, screw up the controller board. I brought a cheap clone for opening Molex. I broke it first use and rammed it like 3mm into my hand. Oh, that sounds awesome. I have to run the Robin Nano script. Is there? I don't see any Robin Nano script. It just says put that on an SD card, plug it into your printer, and send it. Oh, oop, there's a script here I forgot to run. Oopsie doodles. What's this? Plug that back. Plug that back. Okay, we'll do this again. We'll do this again. Okay, so I've run that. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to make it. Oh no, because I copied it, so I should be okay. Copy. So I should. It should still be CD Klipper. Run that. Okay, that did that. Okay, we got that. And that. Download. Okay. E, delete. Well, it said it flashed, but we're gonna have to do it again, obviously. Show folder. 6, and then what is it? Robin Nano? There we go. Okay, do this again. Oop. Make menu is different. Yeah, because it's different versions. Some stuff has changed in Klipper since when was this published? Yeah, this was published like 6 months ago. Or actually no, earlier this year. But some stuff has changed, and then he's using Kiao, which has different thingies, I believe. It's a different bin? Explosion! You didn't grab the right bin. Oh, is it a different... Oh, shoot. Do I gotta do it the old way? I didn't want to do it the old way. Okay, WinSCP. Let's see what we got here. New site. Oh, it doesn't name it Klipper.bin. Is that what I missed? No, that's the SD. Oh, yeah, Klipper. Oh, okay. Okay, nope, I see what, yeah. So this is what happens when you get too comfortable with doing something one way. It goes and changes, and then it screws you up. Skip. Okay. So home pi Klipper out. RobinNano.bin. There we go. Yeah, so it does do that complacency. Yep. Well, whatever I was doing, it was flashing, so. Okay, RobinNano.bin. Throw that over there. Okay. And now we put it in the printer. Turn the printer on. Oh, it made a beep. Oh, the screen turned off. Okay, there we go. That seems about right. So now wait 15 minutes, turn it off. Or 15 minutes, 15 seconds. So I don't know why we're waiting, but we're waiting. If I brick the controller, I would just throw in another one. Yeah, we're waiting on Are You Kidding to do the countdown. I think 15 seconds have elapsed, so turn that off. Shouldn't need the SD card anymore. Take that out. So, plug this in. Go to delete. So, upload file. Downloads. There was a config here. Well, there's our printer.cfg. So I gotta add what it include mainsail. Include G. Save. Turn the printer on. Save and restart. So there is an example config here. Yeah, download the stock firmware. Yeah. So there's a default config here that I downloaded. Cancel print. Why do you got macros? Ooh, the way you did this. What is all this? This has got to be an older config. Okay. Default parameter is not valid in G-code macro pause. Configuration, macros. Download. Keep. Save and close. File. Downloads. Oh. Rename. Macros.cfg. Edit. Macros. CFG. Save and close. Go to macros. Pause, that's fine. Resume, bed mesh, don't need bed mesh, we don't have bed mesh. G32, print start, don't need any of this because we don't have that. Delete. Print start. Okay, home. G90, that, homing. No G32. X, what is it, an 80? Okay, so what is that, 90? Y 90. That, Z. Prime nozzle, that's good there. Nozzle change ABS, don't need that. Fan blaster, don't need that. Print end, we are going to X90, Y 180. Save and restart. There we go. There's your serial ID right there. Okay, so where is default parameter is not G-code macro pause. What the heck? Where's default parameter E? I don't have that in here. There are no macros in here. Remove line 78 and macros. Oh. That ain't right. That's bed mesh profile. I am in macros.cfg. There is no 78. That's even main set or Moonraker config. No. Bed mesh profile. Okay, let me. And let's start. Where is bed mesh? I know I don't have a bed mesh. Where is bed? Do I have bed mesh? Oh, there you go. Delete. Bed mesh clear. I don't think really matters there. Turn off heaters. Restart. Default parameter E. Where is default parameter E? Where are you at? Are you in mainsail.cfg? No. What is default parameter E? There we go. Okay. So, got that. Let me find my actual ID for this guy. Copy that. Nope, that is the serial port. Printer on? The printer's on. Please wait a few moments for it to connect. I think I totaled my motor. How would you total your motor? How did you kill a motor? Why aren't you connected? Firmware restart. Let's try a full reboot. Sometimes you gotta reboot it. No, it's trying to connect right now. It should be connecting. I don't think is the Robin one of the board? I don't think you need the SD card in there for the Robin. We tried yelling at it. Work. Do this now. Okay. Printer is not ready. Machine. Why are you not connecting? You're not CFG, virtual SD card. Yeah, so there's our MCU. Restart method command. Let me just double check here. See if there's anything else in that guide that I missed. My menu config was incorrect. Well, let's see here. Reset turbo. Please just. You need to have Robin and. See, I did have that, I think. One second here. Paste. Go away. Open. Okay, let's try this again. Make sure I'm using everything. CD Klipper, make menu config, copy. Okay, so I've got the PC6 and the GPIO pin set. Enable microcontroller STM32, processor is STM32F103. I'm using the it's a Giga device. So, because it's a clone one, so we got that. Bootloader offset 28 kilobit, 8 megahertz crystal. It's USB. Like, what is not right? Because here he has some stuff for like baud rate and whatnot. Communication interface is wrong. So, but it's USB. We are using USB. That is our option for USB. Is PA is that. I am connecting over USB. I know he has serial, but is he using serial or is he USB? Like, I don't even see these options that he has. USF3. Can you have multiple? No. What I do? Okay. MKs is used at R3. Okay, well, I'll try that. Use arts 3. Okay. Yes. Make clean. Make. Okay, let that do its thing. They run through a UART converter. Okay, that makes some sense. That makes some sense now. Yeah, I'll run the Robin Nano thing too, the script here. CD Klipper. Run the script thing. I think we've got all that. And SCP, reconnect, skip, there we go. Drop a nano, it's right there. And this was generated like a minute ago, so it's the right one. Okay. That, plug that into the printer, turn it on, booting. Okay, wait 15 seconds. You know, it honestly doesn't need 15 seconds, but we'll do what it says. I can send you the official docs. And yeah, if you got the official docs, then ping me on Discord if possible. Oh, somebody already did, I guess. Unless you're the same person. So this is, go away. There we go, okay. Okay, so that is done. Turn that off, take that out, put that in, turn that back on. Board won't read. Well, it flashed, it did something. Because there's apparently King Rune docs here too. Okay, so we set it for US art. The pins are PC6 and PD13. Okay, I've got those. I'm gonna restart. Why aren't you connecting? This is like a great help image, guys. So maybe I don't need to disable that. Maybe that's it. Oh yeah, because they don't have that there. Okay, so that is the same. Their pins are different. They have PB11 and PB... US art, PB11, PB10. Oh, shoot, okay. Enable electrical cable, 28 kilobit. STM32. F103, is it F103? Okay. Oh, that's what I, okay. Escape, save configuration, make, clean, make. Do this again. Who here is familiar with the term on the bus, off the bus? Who here is familiar with the term on the bus, off the bus? Okay, run the script thingy. Okay. Now I gotta get my file. Okay, got that. Drag it to my SD card. Okay, turn the printer off. Put that in there. Turn that on. How many people we got? Oh, okay. Somehow we got 350 people watching me stumble through this. Hello, everyone. Don't forget to like that smash button if you're here. And also, we do give away every stream from Polymaker, Spool of Filament. If you're looking for some printer food and you want to win a spool, the link is in the description. You should probably fill that out. Open worldwide. Also, if you just want to buy some, because it is some pretty good printer food, there's also a link in the description. It's an affiliate link. Costs nothing extra to yourself and helps out the channel. Okay, I didn't watch it if it did anything, but hopefully it did. Turn it on. Okay. Let's do a full reboot. Try again. It's an Albany expression. Yeah, from upstate New York. Want some Polymaker CF? I have some Polymaker CF. I got a few printers I gotta start printing parts for soon. Hello, freak. For V2 build, should I go with Gates Motion Kit 6.9 or Open Build Kit? Oh. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yay! YOLO! Home all! Yay! Should probably move the wires so they're not crushing the Raspberry Pi. Okay, we're good. Sweet! It's alive! It's alive! Now, let's have some fun with it. Machine. Printer.cfg. So our max velocity of 250, no. Max excels, no, more zeros. Max excel to decel, yeah, more zeros. Okay, so that is that. Heater, extruder. Oh, we got a, I gotta do some things so it doesn't get all stupid when it comes to the extruder. So I always forget to add these, and then the extruder always conks out on my starting G code. There we go. Mass extrude distance, copy. So you add these two lines here to your extruder. Okay, so that is that. Bed mesh probe. Why do you got a probe here? We don't have no probe. Stepper Y, stepper Z. Are the okay? They're TMC 2225s. Do I not have control over them? Stepper Z. Okay, they're at 32 microstepping. I know that. Do I don't have control over them. I don't think. Wait, what defines the Z end stop as a BL touch? I don't have, why are you guys set up for a BL touch here? Is there a config here? No UART control? Aw. They don't have a probe. So what would be the pin? So it'd be PA11, right? Would be the end stop, or no, shoot. Because it homed fine. End stop pin. Yeah, let me. Okay, so is it just PR? MKS Robin pin out. What is the Z? And stops. X, Y, Z is PA11. Okay, so it is PA11. So I don't have a probe, so I can copy. Go away, 'cause I don't have a probe. I don't have a BL touch. Go away. And then this whole section I can get rid of. I think. Bed mesh, get rid of that. I don't need a bed mesh. I ain't got no stinking bed mesh. Save and restart. Position end stop. Oh, okay, yep. Enable parse position min. Okay. Oh. Okay, so we got that machine. End stops, check our end stops. So Z is open. Now it's triggered. Now it's open. There we go. Home all. We're good. Okay. Ooh, that's so much faster. Y, actually X. There we go. Okay. Have I seen the Bamboo One X1 LiDAR thing? I have one on the way. I have a Bamboo on the way. It's in the X1 Carbon, and I think they're sending me their multi-material unit as well. So, yeah, I got that on the way. Let's go back to, where did I put that filament? Because remember last time we were doing the speed benchies, we had that recycled PLA. And it actually works pretty dang good. What printer were we doing that on? The Micron. That's right, the Micron. You know what? Let's do natural, because I use that stuff. This stuff seemed to flow for PLA pretty good at high speed. So we're gonna use some natural for this. I would use some Polymaker, but I didn't get PLA. I've got I don't think they sent me any PLA. And this machine isn't all metal, so I can't do that. Am I going to install Klipper on it? This already has Klipper on it. We just put Klipper on it. That last Benchy looked pretty good. Yeah, we ended up getting some pretty good Benchies out of it for a completely not meant to be a high flow hot end. Yep, we just put Klipper on it. Okay, Klipper. So this is made with Regen, made in Canadian PLA. So it's like compostable PLA. Now, to be fair, I probably should PID tune this. Let me at least PID tune the hot end. Let me at least PID tune the hot end, because if we're gonna be going kind of fast, might want to do that. Okay. So we'll PID tune it at, go with 220, or yeah, we'll do 210. Okay. There we go. What kind of PLA are you interested in? Oh, anything really. For me, just PLA is just funky colors and whatnot. Like I only use PLA for like fancy things that sit on the shelf. I don't use PLA for structural stuff. I know there's all kinds of fancy high-tech PLAs and for me, PLA is trinkets. That's what I use PLA for. Okay, so we need to make a profile for this. So, you guys just want to take my profile that we're using on the Micron and just make it bigger and just send it. I think we're just going to do that. Yeah, we're just going to do that. So max print height 180. 180, 180. Okay. We're going to save this as the KP3S. Boom, there we go. So we're just going to use the profile that we were playing on last Friday for the speed benchies. And see if we can, how this works on this guy. What is it, a 26-minute benchy? There we go. That'll do. Send it. The Prusa Mini. Oh, no, the Prusa Mini's a little too conservative. We're here to break things. And have fun. It won't go well. How will we know unless we try? You can't make an omelet without a frying pan. I mean, worst comes to worst, we break a King Rune KP3S. Although I don't know if my Z offset's still good. We might have to fiddle with that. It also doesn't help. It's still loaded with some flexible material, some TPU. No bed trimming. Nope, I don't have a probe on it. It's a 180mm bed, and through all my testing, when we unboxed this machine and I did my original level of the bed, or tramming of the bed, I haven't touched it once since then. I haven't had any issues with parts sticking to the bed, except for a couple prints where they were a little too stuck to the bed and they actually kind of damaged the bed. As you can see by the fact that I still got overhead, you can still see there's like some stuff stuck to the bed still. Let me get this in frame. There we go. So as you can see, there's still some plastic that's a little too stuck to the bed. Oh well. Adjust with the screw. That's what I ended up doing. Yeah. But now that we have Klipper, I can you can adjust your Z offset as it's printing, and then you can hit save, and it overwrites your locked in set offset. When PID tuning, extruding filament makes PID tuning. Technically, you should PID tune with like your fan running and whatnot. I usually don't bother. I don't do a lot of high-speed printing normally. You want to PID tune as your printer runs, okay? The thing is, when it comes to like, if you want to PID tune while you're extruding filament, you would have to set it up in a way that it's constantly extruding, which I don't think you can do because the way Klipper works with its, it'll wait till it finishes extruding all the filament, then it'll run the next command. I don't think you can overlap extruding and PID tuning at the same time, but you can tune in like your part fan on and whatnot, so. I haven't tried it. It'll be an awful print and you'll probably lose steps. Hey, won't know unless you try. I mean, we're here to have fun. Good idea to print in different spots. That's something that, as somebody who comes from a more machinist background, I am not a machinist. I was a tool maker by trade, tool and mold. So I didn't run CNC, but that's something nobody does in 3D printing. Everyone always prints everything at the middle of the bed. You really actually shouldn't be doing that. You should kind of move around where your part is when you print. Because if you're always printing at the middle of the bed, you're going to wear out the middle of the bed first. Either your bed adhesion, you're also, depending on like your motion system and belts and whatnot, you're putting all the wear in one specific spot. You kind of want to spread out where stuff prints. So normally I'll move stuff around the bed. When I'm slicing stuff, I'll just print stuff in a corner or whatever. Don't always slice stuff in the middle of the bed. You're over wearing one area essentially. Okay, so we got our PID tune, save config, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, heat the bed up. Input shaper went. Oh yeah, we haven't done input shaper yet. Una moment. Okay, so we gotta attach this somehow without shorting it out. I'm gonna use that one. That'll do. I forgot we gotta do input shaper on this. That'll take 2 seconds. Oh, no, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Nope, don't use that one. Don't use that one. No, that screws into there. Trying to find somewhere where I can screw this in. No. Ah, screw it. The problem is the ducts on the front are held in with captive nuts, and if I unscrew them, I take like everything off. So we're just gonna do the super ghetto tape it with some VHB tape. It won't be perfect, but it'll kind of be good enough. Okay, plug that in there. Okay, so 1 second here. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we have numpy installed. Oop. Restart session. There we go. I'm pretty sure we have numpy installed already. Yeah, what I want to do is like, okay. Apt-get update. Printers, LVOV2, machine. Where are you at? There we go. Download. Keep. Machine. Upload. Name. There, install MATLAB. Okay, and then do that. There is that. Okay, save and close. CFG. Include adxl.cfg. Boom, bing, boom. Save and restart. And where's my auto tune? Should we calibrate? So we'll do the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so we're that. Boom, done. Boom, boom. All right, 1 second here, machine. 90, 90, middle of the bed, 90. So restart. Is it query? Is it query accelerometer? What is the? Accelerometer query. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. Do it again. There we go. Okay, so it works. Again, it always gives a false negative every time you do it for some reason. Frying pan merch when? If somebody is good at art. Okay, so let's do the x-axis because that's what it's stuck to right now. It's doing the shimmy. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. So technically in a perfect world, you do not want to just VHB it to your tool head. You want to fix it as rigidly as possible. However, YOLO. Polymaker. Okay, Polymaker. Since I am able to talk with you and not on Twitter with 140. So the question about why you use E-steps and flow for tuning your extrusion. This came up on Twitter. There was different input from different people on which way is the proper way. You need to understand E-steps is pushing filament over a set distance. That's all it is. All math is based upon how much the filament is pushed by the extruder, and then flow adjusts it after the nozzle. So if you were to tweak your E-steps to compensate for flow, while that may work, you're going about it wrong because these values for pressure advance, linear advance, retractions, those will also be adjusted based on improper flow. So if you're not getting enough filament outside of the nozzle, it could be multiple factors. Some filament flows better than others, different temperatures, nozzle size, back pressure, die swell. There's all kinds of variables at play there. So your E-steps is a strictly mechanical thing. When you tell your extruder to push 100 millimeters of filament, it pushes 100 millimeters of filament. At the nozzle, that's when you go into your slicer and play with your flow settings. Because once it hits the nozzle, then all other kind of variables are at play there. So your E-steps is the filament itself being pushed to the nozzle. Your flow is after the nozzle. So that's why you have to do both. And while you can get by with just like doing just E-steps and not playing with flow, leaving flow at 100, that's not the proper way of doing it because there's more variables at play after the extruder, and that's where your flow settings and slicer come into play. So I did use shaper calibrate, but I did shaper calibrate for one axis because I did shaper calibrate X because this is a bed slinger and not the tool head only moves in one direction. So because I got it stuck to the bed, or I got it stuck to the tool, now I'm gonna have to save this value and then we'll run it again with the accelerometer taped to the bed. Where the volume is going, multiple different factors. It could be your grinding filament. Filament is springy. If you're getting like half the volume is coming out that you're pushing, that filament has to go somewhere, but that's something at the nozzle. So you could be grinding filament. It could be slipping on the gear. It could be compacting. Like if you're printing like a TPU and your filament feed path isn't properly constrained, you could just be squishing that filament up. Also what happens is, depending on the filament, if you do like a print in air of just like up there in air and push filament, you might notice after it stops extruding, filament will still come out for a bit because the filament, there's preload, there's who knows. There's a lot of variables at play. Like you need to tune both essentially. Basically, your E-steps is a mechanical thing. It's like your motion, XY motion, right? It's like you don't tune your printer's motion based off a calibration print. You got to actually measure it with some sort of measuring device because you can't guarantee there's other variables at play that will affect how accurate that cube is. Oh wait, VHB tape is really sticky. There we go. there. Okay, so now we need to do on all. Oop, don't crush the probe. Okay, we're good. We're good. Axis. Okay, so now we'll do calibrate axis Y, which is the bed. There we go. So if you're curious, it recommended we do MZV for X, I think. Yeah, recommended shaper X, MZV, frequency 72 Hertz. Oh, and I missed it. I know I was on a little rant there. Sanity. Was it Sanity? Sanity, 5 gifted community memberships. Cheers. Is there a way to randomize where the part is printed on the bed? I don't believe so. Why would the filaments need different flow calibration? It's because different plastics behave differently. Some plastics expand once you extrude them out the nozzle. Some contract. ABS, for example, contracts. So my flow rate with ABS is going to be a lower percentage than PLA. Also depends on the temperature you're printing at, how fast you're printing at. There's a ton of variables that will affect how much, how filament behaves, how plastic behaves once it exits the nozzle. Like when I was working in injection molding, you know, you had to take into account plastic shrink at different rates. I've seen entire tools, multi-$100,000 tools scrapped because they were designed with one plastic in mind, but then the customer wanted to change to another plastic, and because of that, their mold for a front fascia, the plastic that used to shrink 3 thou per inch, now shrinks at 8 thou per inch. And when it's a car bumper, that's, you know, as big as a car bumper, now nothing lines up anymore. And you have to retool the entire tool because the plastic changed. Because plastics behave differently once they go through that heat up and cool down cycle. TAFO weight, yeah, print them out and stick it to the bed, yep. Okay, so let's see what we got for our y-axis. And then we'll print a stupid fast Benchy for no reason. This is why I like this little tool that I made, the little Pi Pico thing. You just plug it in, add a few lines to your config, and you're good to go. Max Excel to the recommended 13K. I don't think, just because it says it can, I don't think the motors can actually handle that. Okay, so it's recommended MZV, shaper freak Y, 41 Hertz. And MZV is 5,000 Excel. Cool. There we go. Machine. Printer.cfg. We don't need our AVXL line anymore. Bada bing, bada boom. Save, restart. There we go. So right now we're going to try a Benchy. Let me pull up the slicer setting. So what are we pushing right now? So width and flow, speed. So we're doing 150. So this isn't a stupid fast Benchy, but it's still a 26-minute Benchy. So we shall see. I'll have to VHP on the flex plate. Base polymaker, 10 mil is 10 mil. Yes, but you're converting distance into volume now. So if you tell it to extrude 10 millimeters of filament, it will push out 10 millimeters of filament. Okay? But the difference is we're converting now a linear distance to a volume distance. And plastic expands and contracts once you heat it up and cool it down. So we're converting linear to volume. PF Dennis, gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers. It's like, for example, if I print a Voron part with my ABS profile, with my flow settings for ABS, and the part comes out and everything's perfect, and then if I take that exact same profile and then print the same part in PLA, my holes are too tight because PLA doesn't contract as much as ABS. So I would have to change my flow settings, or the other way around. I think, I can't remember. No, Y change. We just did Y. That was the Y. We did the X and then the Y. Me and the video choppy. I don't know. When we go to overhead cam, here's 60 FPS. Ooh, is it choppy now? Throwing gang signs. Really on chat. I know. Basically, I've always looked at it this way, and I've always had the best results from E-steps is straight up mechanical. How much does the filament get pushed? And then flow rate is adjusting after the nozzle. So if you print something and you find that, you know, you're over extruding, you decrease your flow rate. If you're under extruding, you increase your flow rate. But when you tell your extruder to move 100 millimeters of filament, it moves 100 millimeters of filament, because other things such as retraction distance, pressure advance, linear advance, those are all based off of E-steps. So now you're taking a value and you're fixing one variable with that value, but now that value is not the correct value because it's other things are being calculated with that value now. So like when you tell your filament, oh, retract 3 millimeters, but you've changed your E-steps to compensate for flow, well, now it's not retracting 3 millimeters. It's retracting whatever the modified value of it is, which, let's be honest, it's like usually like a fraction of a percent. So it's not a huge deal, but still the math is now off. Okay, I have no idea how this is going to go, guys. I legit have no idea, because remember the last time, before I ran this machine last, we ripped the gantry off and we put it back on. So would E-steps be calibrated without nozzle? In a perfect world, yes, but as long as you're not bound by the nozzle, like you're not, like the nozzle's not so cold that you're causing the filament to grind, you're okay. I know like direct feed setups, it's not as easy. On a Bowden setup, it's really easy to unplug the Bowden tube and the filament just pushes into air. Did I check Z offset? It should be 0 because this was running Marlin and I had no offset before. Oh. 1 second here. Oh, I don't have a home? Oh, because I got the thing. That's right. That's right. Okay. It's erroring out. It's saying it's not homing, but I forgot. Macros. Start print. Okay. Beat up, beat up, beat up. G20. There we go. Save and restart. There we go. For a Revo, you could take out the nozzle. You could. And just make sure you disable, like, that you don't have to have it hot. The start macro on this is going to be a little hacky. I got a feeling. Because we didn't adjust it. We just kind of sent it. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, you're going up there. You're going to heat the temperature right there. Hopefully my Z didn't shift. Any reason? I don't know. I've always had the habit. It's because of, like, I use multiple different slicers on multiple different machines. I just save it to a file. It's something I've always done. I'm running different slicers, different versions. I got different machines. I got different printers, running different firmwares all the time. I just think it's easy just to save it to my computer and just drag and drop it. Also, I have some G-code files that I use on multiple printers. Okay, I'm gonna have to change that. Oh, we were too long. Boop, 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 boop. I can't see. See? Okay, I think it's doing something. Yep, we already did an Evangelion. Everyone stand around and say congratulations to Sanity for getting her cereal. So this filament, this is that regen stuff again. This is made in Canada bioplastic. You know, all PLA is. But when we were playing around with speed benches, we found this was probably like, I did actually try speed bench. I did run that profile with another brand of PLA too. And this stuff actually flows very good at high speed for a PLA. The only problem is the colors are poopy. It's natural and black, which, let's be honest, black goes with everything, but it ain't no Polyterra teal. What excels? We are firmware limited, right? Or no, firmware I have it set for 10, so it'll run whatever I tell it to. But this is the speeds and feeds we're doing right now. So externals are 100 millimeters a second, internal walls are 150, infills 200 millimeters a second. And we're doing 5K excels, except for perimeters, which are 3,500. So we probably could be pushing it a little bit faster. There's our speeds, because I don't know if, are we flow rate capped? Because this just has a V6, basically. Where's flow rate, flow rate, flow rate? Width, speed, fan, layer time, where's, oh, volumetric flow rate, there you go. So this only has a V6 in it. So a Revo has more output than this hot end. So. I don't have minimum layer time on at all. It's natural. It's just natural PLA. Oh wait, no, we gotta. There we go. Yeah, high flow soon. Yeah, actually, I think this is a V5 or something like that. Vertical Benchy. What's a vertical Benchy? Oh, that's when people are putting the Benchy on its back, isn't it? Yeah, people are doing it. What is it? You take a Benchy and you like put it on its back or something. Don't you gotta like sink into the ground a bit though? Can you offset? Like, can Prusa? Can you sink it into the ground in Bruce's slicer? I don't know. Bottom right hand. Actually, this is not too bad. Would I recommend this? Well, I just did a review on it. I just put out a review on this printer on Sunday, so 2 days ago. So I would say watch that video. But TLDR, this printer is a very good budget printer. It's got some really nice things for $180 US. The only thing is there are some potential issues that you may have to deal with at some point. Fans are kind of shitty. There's an issue with the Y-axis idler that may cause it to fail at some point. Have I pushed an Ender 3 Pro? We had a stream where we basically did this with an Ender 3 Pro, where we threw Klipper on it and sent it. So. What am I gonna? I'm not gonna do anything to the Prusa is gonna stay stock. I want a stock Prusa because I want to use it as a benchmark. Because I have some machines coming, commercial machines for review and whatnot, and I want a standard to compare to. Oh, that part cooling. Oh yeah, it's only got a 50-15 and it's only blowing from one side. And the Frusa, I still have the Frusa I gotta build too. Mainsail dashboard, yeah, right here. Actually, 1 second here. Mobile, speeds. Wait for that to load up. That should pop up soon, hopefully. Oh wait, no, it won't. No, it won't. Copy that. 1 second here. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't know about this. There's a ton of mods for this printer. We have 400. Oh, wow. Well, make sure you like that smash button. If you haven't entered for the draw for the filament from Polymaker, make sure you enter. Link is in the description. Yeah. What else? Well, since I got everyone here, I might as well do like the stuff I've been meaning. Update on the PO box, because I know a lot of people were asking for me to set up a PO box because people want to send me stuff. I do have a PO box now, so if you want to send me something, just exclamation mark PO box in chat, and that is my PO box address. If you want to send me something, please be aware it has to be through the mail. You cannot use a courier service. So if you want to send me something, don't use DHL, UPS, FedEx, whatever. It won't come through. It has to be through mail. So Canada Post, USPS, Australian didgeridoo, kangaroo mail, whatever it's called. It has to be the mail, not a courier service. So I know a bunch of people have been asking for that, and I keep meaning to say it at the beginning of the stream, and I keep forgetting. What else? For those that are members of the channel or Patreon supporters, we do have a Discord now. It will be public some point in June. We're kind of just getting it up and running, so it's soft launched for now for YouTube members and Patreon supporters. So if you want to get early access, consider becoming a member or Patreon supporter, or you know, somebody might, luckily you might be lucky and somebody gift you a membership. But it's soft launch for now. It will be fully public later this month. Just kind of getting it set up, and it's easier to set something up when there's people there. And we will be doing community stuff in the future. The reason I'm setting up the Discord is I do want to do community stuff. I do want to do some like community contests, get more feedback, get more interaction going, especially on the Friday streams. So we'll do stuff where like print challenges and, you know, share your printing setup, and we rate and judge it and critique it and stuff like that. We'll do little fun community things, and I'll give away merch, because merch is actually pretty easy for me to give away through the store. So again, also, if you want merch, there's the Only Benchy store. So. I hate that the sub 200 printer. Okay, here's the thing. Spitco. What is different between this printer and your Ender 3 or my Voron or the Prusa? They're NEMA 17 motors. They got 32-bit drives or controllers. They're belt driven on the X and Y axis or whatever. Motion systems are different. Yeah, build quality is different, but there's no actual different. We did this with an Ender 3. We took an Ender 3, threw Klipper on it. We're printing at 300 millimeters a second, 5K XLs. So you can print this fast on any machine. You could, if you were going to the tool changer runs Duet. You can run these speeds on it if you want. Just bump your speeds and feeds up. Do it. It'll handle it. I guarantee it will. It's a Core XY machine. It's well built. The thing is, when you run these fast, you run into reliability issues with the prints. You get crappy overhangs, cooling's not there. If you try printing a large plate of ABS parts, they're probably not gonna be good by the end of it all. So, you know, speed benchies are like a drag race thing. They're not really... You need merch. Can you Ultra Enter? You can. But if you want to, you know, get yourself a super awesome Only Benchy's hat, check out the merch store, link in the description. It's actually a really comfy hat. I'm going to be wearing it at Murph. The hat, I'm actually really impressed with the quality of the, I went through the Stream Element store for the merch, and the quality's that. Reness, I don't have an affiliate like thingy set up. If you go in the description, there's a few affiliate links there. I'm really bad at setting up affiliate links. I finally got a Polymaker one the other day. I don't have an Amazon one. Honestly, if you want to support the channel, the easiest way to do it, and the one that impacts me the most, is just, if you're going to buy something, use the affiliate links. That doesn't cost you anything extra. And being a member of the channel or a Patreon supporter. That's the easiest way to do it. CXOB, you got the giveaway hat. Awesome. What did I do for that giveaway? I can't remember what I did for that gift. Was it just a random draw? I think it was just a random draw we did one night. But it works out really good for the hats and whatnot. The merch, I can buy stuff through the store at cost. So I'm pretty much paying like whatever the cost is without, you know, profit on top of it. And then shipping, which is kind of reasonable for most of the world. So giving away like an Only Benchy's hat is actually pretty easy to do. Not that impactful price-wise. A belted Z-Mod? I know some people said they had issues with this machine with the lead screw being... I didn't have any issues with mine, so... I put Klipper on an Anycubic Chiron and got 250 millimeters speed and 7K acceleration. The glass platter flew off. Yeah, that's another thing. Do I have a $30,000 head simulator? I don't have a $30 head simulator, but with this hat, my 3D printed headphones fit over it quite well still. So yeah. By the way, I've been daily. So these ones I haven't been the Minamames, but the Hedamames. I'm daily driving them. I've been using them now for a few days on my computer as my main headphone, my go-to headphones. They're the only ones I got now. They work damn well and they are comfy. So how come we fixed it? We fixed the strap. I don't know how long it'll stay fixed for, but we fixed it. That's why. And I am totally losing my voice now. Go see if the doggo's out there. I don't think he is. Nope. How's the mic quality? About the same. I haven't used it. I actually unplugged the mic because the problem with the mic on the Hedemames is there's nowhere to store it. It's not like you can flip it up out of the way because it's a bendy mic. So it's always in my peripheral vision. It got really annoying, so I just unplugged it. But it's funny. Yes, this is an LTT water bottle. Shop LTT store. Am I wearing an LTT shirt today? No. Whenever I have to do a video call with anyone, I just come into this room and do it. I've Skyped family members. I've done business calls with like companies. I just come into this room and do it because why would I not? I have a full audio setup here. Usually I just use my mic though. I've got, you know, a 4K camera here. Like, why would I not do all my video stuff for calling out of this room? You know, I'm in the basement. It's quiet when the printers aren't running. I'm not a crappy webcam on my computer upstairs I got great lighting. Why would I not do, you know, any video call I got to do in this room? Jeans, 1999. Cheers. Thank you. What am I getting? I don't think the LTC store does affiliate links. I will say though, I've purchased a few things from the LTT store and they've been of good quality. So, do you wear the apron? I always wear the apron. What do you mean, do I wear the apron? I'm wearing it right now. About the bamboo, does it compare with the Legacy Voron? So I have a bamboo on the way. For those wondering, I have a bamboo on the way. It should be here, I'm thinking next week. And I will be doing a live unboxing of it. So I will be doing that. Oh, do I wear the apron for the business calls? Sometimes. Focus. Focus on me, camera. Focus on me. Ooh. It's, you know why? It's because my face is, it has the face detection. The shadow throws it off. But yeah, the bamboo. So Legacy 4. A lot of people, for some reason. Okay, here's the thing. Just because it's Core XY does not mean it's a Voron. Every time a commercial Core XY comes out, I always see, oh, this is just a Voron clone. It's not. It's just a Core XY. But yeah, I got one on the way. And we're gonna unbox it live and just see how it is. I know there's been a bunch of reviews for it already, so I know I'm late to the party with all that. But yeah, it's a Prusa XL Voron clone. Hey, Prusa is technically like one of the largest sellers of Voron kits, so you know, I think he's allowed to make Vorons now because he sells them. So bamboo is the new rat rig. I have a rat rig though, and I might get another soon. So here's the thing. Remember what I said a little while ago. What makes the machines different? They're all NEMA 17 motors. They're all running 32-bit controllers. I can run bamboo speeds on my Voron. The bamboo speeds are 10kxl at 200 to 250 millimeters a second. If I remember their slicer. A few people have posted pictures of their like default slicer. It's 10kxl 2 to 300 millimeters a second. I think it's got 480 millimeters a second travel. That's not obscene. Their speed Benchy profile is like 20kxl, I believe. Which, if your motors are correctly spec'd and you got the right drivers, again, that's any machine can do that. It's just we're finally seeing companies actually take advantage of the advances we've had in software and whatnot. So the hardware has been capable of doing these things for years. It's just we're finally taking advantage of it on the software side. So what does it make a good printer? I don't know. I've got all of them except for the Legacy. They're fun DIY builds. They're solid machines. They work really well. They're all self-built though, so they're only as good as you build them. I've seen people you know, complain about a Voron and then they post a picture of their printer and they built it horribly out of crappy printed parts that are out of PETG or something. So they're only as good as you build them. And if you take the time to build them right, they're very solid machines. And they've got, you know, all kinds of cool features. You got quad gantry leveling. They're all designed to be fully enclosed right from the start. So you don't need to put them in a box or anything. They're all designed to be panel up enclosed. Even the switch wire, all of them are within their enclosed volume. No, except for the V0. So yeah, and it's a fun community to be part of. Disclosure, I am on the Voron team. So the LiDAR, from what I understand, isn't actually true LiDAR. They use lasers to measure, like, it's basically they're checking the first layer with lasers. It's not true LiDAR, because LiDAR works like radar, where you send out a pulse of light and you measure it coming back. With them, I think they use like kind of like I think it's like the same tech as you like a laser measuring device. I don't think that's LiDAR. But yeah. What is the biggest speed limitation FDM, in my opinion? The issue is you can only take plastic, take it from a solid form to a liquid form and then back to a solid form so fast. So on a traditional machine with your single hot end, eventually you're going to get to the point where your print quality, you know, did I throw out all those speed benches? What did I do with all the speed benches? Yeah, like, you know, you got a speed benchy, right? The bow looks like poop because you couldn't cool the plastic fast enough. So you started seeing people with the speed benchy races where you have like blowers blowing in extra cool air. Well, the problem is certain plastics, when you shock them with that much cool air, you don't get good layer adhesion. So you're printing stuff too hot and you're printing stuff too fast. You can only print stuff reliably to a certain point. Then you start getting diminishing returns. Like ABS, when you cool ABS, you should print ABS hot and let the whole mass of plastic, you know, that's why we print ABS enclosed. You want to keep the temperatures warm until you're done printing and then let everything cool back to room temperature. That way you don't get warping, you don't get layer delamination. When you're sitting there printing something and just blasting it with a, you know, a leaf blower so that you can get the part benchy not to look like a molten mass of magma, well, you're not gonna get the good print out of it. It might look okay, but it's not a practical thing for an actual full print. Derek, $10. Cheers. A quick question. I'm selling V 2.4 with afterburner. When I bolt the fan shroud to the exterior, there's a gap of 2 to 3 mil behind the fan shroud. Make sure you're not pinching any wires. If I'm thinking of what it looking like. Like, are you talking about, do we got an afterburner here? Okay. So, are you talking, oops, something fell. Okay. Are you talking about the gap here? Or the gap from like this body right here to the extruder? So are you talking the hot end gap or the extruder gap from the fan? I haven't skipped a step yet on this. We haven't had a single layer shift. This is actually coming out pretty good. The gap at the top, the extruder gap. Okay, make sure you have no wires, because the wires are supposed to come out of this little slot here. Make sure the wires aren't pinching, but it should be like flat to flat. So make sure you're not pinching any wires, like down here pinching any wires. The wires come up this slot into here. So make sure you're not pinching any wires, because and all your screws are flat, and yeah, because there really shouldn't be anything to hold, like to cause a 2 to 3 millimeter gap there. Make sure you're using the right length screws and whatnot too. What's the benefit to Core XZ over Cartesian on the switch wire? So cheaper. Comparing a switch wire to a setup like a Prusa where you have dual motors with integrated linear screws, it's cheaper setup. You don't have to worry about lead screw wobble. It's faster, so if you run prints with a lot of Z-hop, like an Eiffel Tower, you know, this print right here, okay, you need to print the Eiffel Tower with Z-hop enabled. If you don't, you're gonna have a bad time. And this thing has like a million Z-hops in it. So if you can run your Z faster, or as fast as your X and Y, that adds up to a time saving over time. Also, if you have some sort of bed mesh, if you've run a bed mesh on a printer with lead screws, you know it makes that kind of noise where your Z motors are kind of like, because they're constantly moving ever so slightly. With a Core XZ system, you don't have that noise because both motors are always running the whole time. Any plan to add touch pressure sensors to Stealth Burner? I can't CAD, so I wouldn't be personally doing that, but that, you know, could always be a possibility down the line. How much Z hop? I usually run double layer height, and I'm not like super crazy with it, but I usually run like 100 millimeters a second at like 1 or 2 kXL, I think. But yeah, for Z hop, my go-to is usually double layer height. So if it's a 0.2 layer, I'll run like 0.4 mil of Z hop. Sometimes more. It really depends on the print. Sometimes I'll bump it up if the print has something that I think is a curling issue. Have I seen the NF Win extruder? I have not, but I can take a looky-loop. Okay, it's a dual drive gear extruder. Okay, it looks like a BMG in a metal housing. And it's direct feed. Honestly, I'm not personally a huge fan of all-in-one setups like this. I'm not a huge fan of taking a motor which has to dump its own heat and attaching it to a hot end that has to dump its own heat. I know it works. The Hemera works. You know, they're the BQH2. They just came out with a new one. There obviously is a market for it, and obviously it does work. I don't like my heat generating devices to be dumping heat into the same thing. Is there a way to get my first layer on my 01? Is there a way to get my first layer on my 01 even? Any advice? Like what's wrong? Like, is your bed not flat type of issue, or is it like you're over extruding, under extruding, you're too close to the bed, too high up? Level 4 would you recommend a V0 to start? If you already have existing larger or regular size printers, the V0 is fine. Just be aware the 120 millimeters cubed is, you know, it's 120 millimeters cubed. It is kind of a small print volume, but as a secondary printer, it's fine. So yeah, the V0 would be fun. It also technically is the cheapest Voron, so. Come on, smokestack. What retraction distance? Oh, geez, I think, let me, settings, machine limit. I run like 0.65 millimeters of retract on my, mine. 1.4, that's a lot of retract for a direct feed setup. Why is the screen off? Because we installed Klipper on it. And the screen doesn't work with Klipper. Yay, it worked. Okay, so let that cool for a second. Let me just fix some stuff here with my config. Macros.cfg. Okay, so what was that stupid print start? Yeah, this one right here. I don't want it to do another Z home. We don't need it to do another Z home. So we can restart. So yeah. Oh man, I forgot. What was the final print time on that? It would have said on the screen. Shoot. Okay. So that first layer was a little close to the bed though. So we lost our first layer. And by a little close, I mean it was way too close to the bed. Somebody suggested I turn the magnet 90 degrees to see if it would like to be stronger, and it's even weaker at 90. Where is my... So if you're wondering, this actually came out not too shabby. Have I tried the OSEC sheet on the King Rune? I have not. It doesn't stick well. The magnet on the King Rune is kind of weak. And by kind of weak, I mean really weak. Oh, this... Okay, this is weird. This is like a natural PLA. It's actually like kind of flexible a little. I don't know. It's mushy. Oh yeah, this is why you don't do speed benchies. That layer adhesion. Yeah. So this plastic ain't that stiff. Let's go to the let's try the black, because we didn't have that issue with the black. What time is it? Oh, it's only 4. Yeah, we got time. We'll do another speed bench here too. Are you legally allowed to sell pre-made Vorons? Yep. Voron is released under the OpenGL, or what is it, GPL v3 license. So you are allowed to sell, like, you're allowed to use Voron for commercial purposes. So if you want to sell your own printed parts, or even build full Vorons and sell them, or make kits and sell them, you are legally allowed to do so. The only thing you have to do is give credit to the original design. So, you know, on your webpage or whatever where you're selling them, you have to link back to the Voron GitHub, essentially. I will say, Voron has been around for over 5 years now, and no one to date has successfully sold completed Vorons. They just kind of aren't a thing. No one, it's not stopping anyone from trying, but I've yet to see anyone actually do it. Where can we get one? You have to buy the kit and build it yourself, or hope somebody is maybe selling one used. Okay. So that obviously came out okay. We're going to change the direction around just so we are printing with a little bit more fan to the front. But let's bump our speeds and feeds up. So let's. So I'm putting 300, but we're not going to be hitting 300 because we're going to be flow rate limited. Okay. So we're going to be flow rate limited anyways. But we'll see what we get. So this is, well, you can't see the time because my head's blocking it. This should be about 5 minutes shorter than the other one. Yeah, see, 19-minute versus 26 minutes. So we'll see. Again, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it dies, it dies. So, fix first layer. I did. I adjusted my Z offset. Revo 6 on a KP3S. I'm gonna put a Revo in the Prusa before I put a Revo in this thing. I'm not gonna put something that's half the price of the machine in a machine. I don't get people that spend 3 times the value of a printer upgrading the printer. Just go from scratch. Like, you get diminishing returns, I think, with that kind of thing. That's just me. Some people have sold completed ones for 3,000 to 5,000. Yep. Like, you know, if I won the lottery, well, I was gonna say, you know, if I had all the time in the world, and here I am as a full-time YouTuber. But you know, I've floated the idea personally of like buying like 10 LDO kits, see if I can get like a bulk rate discount on the kits, building the 10 kits and selling them as completed builds. But then I sit there and go, that's 100 hours of labor easily. What would I have to sell them for to make it worth my investment? For, you know, it just becomes kind of a nightmare, because these machines, you know, if you're a single person operation, a V2 could be like 20 hours to build. So you need to sell it enough to make the 20 hours of labor worth it, plus the cost of the hardware, plus profit, like, and then you got to ship it, which, you know, shipping these machines ain't exactly easy sometimes. What about the FormBot Vivendo? The Vivendo. So the Vivendo is a weird machine. The Vivendo has nothing to do with Voron. We did not interact with them at all. They came out with that machine and we said, hey, this is clearly Voron inspired. Can you put something on your website at least saying that? And then they did. But that machine has like nothing in common with a Voron other than the way it functions. There's no parts commonality at all. It's a weird V1, it's like a V2.0 / 2.1 hybrid machine. Like some of the way things are laid out, like it, copy my homework, but don't make it look like your own type thing. What kind of jig? It's not so much jigs. The problem is, okay, you got to put all the heat sets in, so having like an actual heat set tool would be nice. You'd have to batch build them, like put all your Zen modules together, put all your gantries together. You'd have to batch build it all. Jenny, I have no idea about the Jenny. That's some random person who tried to shill it on the Facebook, and that's all they posted about was trying to sell their printer, so we got rid of them. Or whoever was up running the Facebook banned them for constantly trying to hawk it. Yeah, I don't know. Some random clone design on AliExpress. I have no control over it. I've never really seen one in the person. If someone's willing to build a Voron for you for $15 an hour, I would question the quality of the build. Because I know I'm not building a Voron for somebody for $15 an hour. Yeah, it took them a while to put inspired by Voron. Oh, I know. And Vivendo is FormBot, for those that don't know. So you see the video from Kraylin showing the... I haven't seen the video. Oh, I'm not following that page on Facebook or YouTube, so... That's the, oh, there's a Rebo level cube. We went over that a couple streams ago. And the pictures for the Jenny, it literally, yeah, let me find it here. Also, Jenny, why would you call your 3D printer Jenny? Like, why? Yeah, so this is the Jenny. It's a commercialized Voron, essentially. Gotta go fast. One second here. That buried into the bed. What? It didn't save the offset? Why didn't you save the offset? Ready? Motors aren't even warm. Motors are not even warm to the touch. That is going to be a scuff Benchy. I wonder how the Weiler is holding up. I don't know. Can you get the machine? Yeah, here, let me mute that and turn off the noise filter. So if you're wondering how it sounds, it is the hot end is not keeping up at all. Let's bump them tips up. Why is the mobile cam moving? Quit moving. There we go. What Pi? This is a Pi 3A. I'm going to put a 0 on this after. It's just we had to put the Pi 3 in it just for input shaper. But yeah, you can see here, this is why you need to put this little piece of Bowden in here so that the filament, you know, doesn't feed like in on a crooked angle and like shear as it's feeding in. You need a piece of Bowden for this machine. The Raspberry Pi temp? Yeah. Temperature 42 degrees Celsius. It's got like a little shitty heatsink on it. Like, there's the Pi that's running this right now. Got a little crappy heatsink on it, but... Why are you moving, camera? Stay locked in position. There we go. Pi is being unobtainium. What are people using as an alternative? I'm still using Pis. I don't have anything not running a Pi right now. But basically anything that can run like Debian Linux. When you start the Frusa mini stream now with the upcoming price increase on the mini, the Physite version is going to be more compelling. I know. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to come across building that because here's the thing. I have a knockoff Prusa. Okay, I've got a knockoff Prusa kit. That's why we're calling it the Frusa because it's a fake Prusa. And I want to build it in a way so because I want to compare. I want to see. Okay, I've built the legit Prusa Mark III right here. Okay, it's like right here. So I've built a legit Prusa. So I know what the legit Prusa experience is. I want to see what the not legit Prusa experience is, and kind of I want to do it in a way as like fair as possible. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's a clone, but Prusa is an open source project, right? You are allowed to basically make your own. It would be no different. Like that kit, I could literally self-source everything on that myself. So if a company does it and they just take the BOM, throw it in a box and sell it to you, as long as they're saying it's not a Prusa, you're technically okay. So, but I know a lot of people will be, why are you building that? So I have it sitting in the other room. I just haven't gone around to it. Yeah, like you can use, like for those looking for Pi alternate, you can use an old computer. Just be careful, anything you use, make sure it's not like stupid power hungry. Music dead? Oh, let me turn the music back on. There we go. It has a PTFE hot end? Ew. Ew. Can you print it pink and purple? So I do have... Yeah, I've got that, and I've got that. So if we want, you know, I could print it in some, I do got, well, do I have pink? I got coral pink. I don't have any pink ABS. I've got purple. Or no, that is sparkle fluorescent print. No, oh no, I do have purple. I do have purple. Yeah, yeah. So we could do the Frusa in sparkle fluorescent pink and galaxy purple. If you guys wanted to. I think I have like all the Sparta 3D Sparkle ABSs. Or pretty much all of them. Hot pink. Oh yeah, if we're building a knockoff Prusa, we're gonna have some fun with it. Believe me, we have to. This egg, yeah, that egg is the pink. I think. Is it? Yeah, that egg is the pink. So this was printed with that pink. If Fadus hot ends are bad quality, what other hot end would you recommend besides the Revo? For a Voron, V6? The thing is, okay, stir in the pot here. Mosquitoes are fine, okay? The problem with the mosquito is the way the mosquito is designed, it pumps out a lot of heat to the side, which melts ducts. So with the Revo being, you're allowed to bring the ducts much in closer with the Revo. Stealth Burner is designed with the Revo in mind, or the Revo form factor in mind, because you can bring the ducts in much closer. You're not pumping out as much heat to the front and side. It's a smaller cylinder. The Mosquito is fat. So, got a Mosquito here, and I've got a V6, or a Dragon, which has a V6 block. So when you look at the two, you can see how much wider the Mosquito block is, and also like where the wires are. This is why mosquitoes melt ducts, because they pump out a ton of heat to the sides. So because of that, and other reasons, because like you can't force somebody to design something if they don't want to. They just, the Stealth Burner doesn't support them because they melt ducts. You would have to redesign everything and have a completely separate design for the hot end to support the Mosquito. So, but the hot end itself is fine. Rapido. The thing is, I know a lot of people are telling me they're having issues with Dragons lately, and I'm kind of like, I'm running 4 Revos right now. Like every machine I've built in the past while, since before the Trident. Yeah, since the Trident has been the Trident has a Raptor. The Trident has a Raptor. Okay, so if you're running what I'm running, Switchwire has a Revo with no nozzle in it right at the moment. I got to put a nozzle in that. Switchwire has a Revo. The Micron has a Voron Edition Dragon, because why not? Yeah, the LDO V01 has a Dragonfly. The Micron has a Revo. This has a Revo. That has a Revo. So that's Revo Micro. That's Revo 6. This is Revo Voron. The Micron is Revo Voron. Tallboy runs a Rapido. The Physec Trident runs a Raptor. And the Fermiolabs build, kind of Toasty Boy, is running currently a Dragon. I'm tempted to rip that Dragon out and actually put my Mosquito back in. So. Slice is really expensive, so other choices. Is what it is. Price is a thing. Dragons are cheap, they work, but they're starting to have QC issues apparently. Fadus apparently has a big announcement in the next few days. I don't know. I'm surprised it's actually still working. Not in beta 1. I was in Revo beta 3, I believe. The last beta. Thoughts about the Rapido? It works. I don't know, it works. It's a higher flow hot end that takes normal nozzles, so that's nice. Or actually no, does the Rapido take regular nozzles? Yeah, the Rapido takes regular nozzles. Yeah, I've got it paired with a 0.6 CHT, but I don't really use Tallboy too often right now, so. Like, Tallboy's on the ground. Tallboy's down here, because I just don't use them that often. Going back to selling a Voron, what do you think about after-sale support, and do you offer a warranty? I don't sell Vorons, so I don't do that. But that would be another thing. If I sold somebody, you know, if I was, say, I did my thing where, okay, I went to LDO, I reached out to Jason, hey Jason, I want to bulk order like 10 V0 kits. I get the kits, because believe me, if I'm building and selling Vorons, I'm not doing the wiring. I'm buying pre-made wire harnesses. Screw that noise. So I buy the 10 Voron V0s, I build them all, and I ship them out. And 3 of them get damaged in shipping. then what? How do I provide support? Do I send the parts? That person bought a Voron, they've never built a Voron. How do I explain how to replace the A motor mount? Like, are they shipping it back? Am I paying that cost? Are they paying that cost? After support, hey, it showed up, wiring got damaged, something got damaged, or, you know, 6 months in, hey, something's not working. Like, do I go, hey, once it leaves my hands, it's all yours? Do I, like, you're opening a can of worms there. Is it Slice or E3D Revo this? Well, the thing is, Slice isn't supported by Voron. You can't force somebody who designs something to design for a specific tool head, so it's specifically, you know, their choice for what's supported or what not. But the Slice Mosquito does have a problem where it pumps out a lot of heat to the side, which causes melty duct issues. That's one of the reasons it's not supported currently. And this is why Vorons were not ever meant to be production machines. Like, they are designed as hobbyists, fun to build DIY machines for people who like building 3D printers. They were never meant to be a off-the-shelf machine. If you were to do these off the shelf, you would be dumb to do it as is, because you could optimize so much of this machine for mass production. It's ridiculous. Like, pretty much the whole gantry assembly, all the printed parts in the gantry can pretty much be replaced with nothing but plates and spacers that are, like, you know, water jetted at bulk amount, and then just spacers and screws. Like, so much of the design could be simplified for mass production. Sitting on a V6 with bimetallic heat break and copper heat block. Wonder if I get anything upgrading to Revo. Not really, actually. That's a fully pimped out V6. What you gain from going to Revo is you don't need to worry about the, you know, heat tightening, oozing issues. Functionally, like in terms of once it's actually printing, a fully pimped out V6, within margin of error of a Revo. What the Revo get is you get all the quality of life stuff that the Revo has, where you no longer have to worry about oozing anymore. You can, you know, swap the nozzles by hand, no tools, no risk of damaging anything while you're swapping nozzles, you know. For the Dragon, in any specific place? I would say yes, but pretty much everything I'm running was given to me for the YouTube channel. So, like, I'm running, Toasty has a Diamondback. I'm running CHTs, which Bondtech sent me some to play with. So pretty much CHT is like what I would say go for if you're not running any abrasives. And then something like a Nozzle X, or other mid-price point if you were going to run abrasives, because I'm a fan of just buy one and done with nozzles. I used to buy cheap nozzles and just, you know, throw them out, but I've gone to the point where I'd rather just pay once for a good nozzle and just be done with it and never have to worry about it again. So that's what I kind of do now. But yeah, like something like a Nozzle X, or I know a bunch of people do tungsten carbide nozzles now. If you do plan on printing abrasives, and then if you're like total baller and all you do is print carbon fiber plastics all day, every day, go with like a Diamondback. Does CHT affect retracts? Potentially. I didn't really notice too many issues with it. Just retune it for the new nozzle and just, that's about it. Yeah, but you pay for, yeah, that's what I meant by like quality of life and, you know, improvements in that regard. In terms of like once it's actually up and printing, not much of a difference, if any, but yeah. PT1000 Rapido plus Diamondback is giving me great results, but not cheap. Exactly, that's the thing. The Diamondback nozzle, like, you know, if everyone could run one, it'd be great, but they're $100 each. So it's hard to justify. But if you know, if you were running and all you did all day, you know, like the folks at Pantheon, okay, with their setup, running a Diamondback, because all they do all day is run carbon fiber filled material all day, every day, that nozzle would make sense on their machine, right? An $8,000 machine and a $100 nozzle, that is perfectly acceptable. Now, putting a $100 nozzle on one of these, dumb AF, don't do that. But like, you know, it's like, you know, hunters. You go out, you spend a few thousand on a really good hunting rifle. You don't go to Walmart and buy the cheapest Bushnell scope on it. You go buy a, you know, a good quality glass. It's like a printer. Your nozzle has a massive impact on print quality and how well the machine performs. So if it's, you know, a cheapo machine like this, dropping $100 on a nozzle doesn't make sense. But if you're looking at like, you know, $1,500 Voron or $8,000 Pantheon or any other higher end machine, $100 nozzle is reasonable. So it all depends on your budget and what your price point and what you're looking to get out of your machine. Yeah, $100 nozzle on an 8K machine is not exactly. I print gun parts at a GF or CF stuff all day, so time. Yeah, see, it really depends on your use case. What's the lowest flow rate you would go for? My Revos cap out around 18 millimeters cubed a second with ABS, and I'm fine with that. Look at how much the Titan is spinning. Hollow Sun everything. Oh god. How hot is the extruder? Okay. Really? Okay, I can't feel the Z motor because it's in the frame, but every single motor on this machine is legit stone cold room temperature right now. Like, even the extruder is slightly warm. Like... Will the Fadus Dragonfly Hana be compatible with Stealth Burner? Yep. Dragonfly and Dragon are pretty much the same. The Dragonfly is just, I'm not breaking the patent law thing. They're functionally the same. The difference is the Dragonfly doesn't have the supports that are patented by Slice. So. What the heck is Hollow Sun? Sanity, it's a brand of cheap optics for like firearms. What is my quality Benchy speed? I don't know. I don't print Benchies. Like, so like, you know, I printed a Benchy on the Prusa at whatever the default profile is. That's, I guess, Benchy speed. Don't buy cheap glass. Yep. Zodiac for Fadus are really great. As you are printing. I know I'm printing a Benchy, but we're doing it to like prove a point here. What are some off-the-shelf alternatives for Voron V2.4? Like a commercial like machine that you just buy, print, and go. Bamboo Lab Carbon X1, but that's not out yet. It's Kickstarter. And by the way, when it comes to that machine, because I know it is a Kickstarter machine, I won't be looking at it as a Kickstarter machine because they've told me that the machine will be retail available through Amazon and their web store in July. They're aiming for July. So that's how I will be approaching that machine when I receive it. Because here's my view on Kickstarter. Kickstarter is always a gamble. You give money to them and you hope you get it, but if you don't get it, you don't get it. So if you want to take the risk and save a couple bucks, be prepared that you don't get anything. Otherwise, just wait for it to be retail available. So I'm going to be approaching it as in I have a production unit. It will be retail available in July. That's how I'm approaching the Bamboo. There is a Kickstarter available for those that are willing to accept the risk, but I'm going to be approaching it as this machine will be available in retail form in July. So I just have an earlier unit. Well, it's a production unit, but I just have it before it's retail available. So that's kind of how I'm going to approach it, because I personally don't like Kickstarters. I don't think companies should be doing Kickstarters. But I asked them because I spent like an hour talking to them. And it was basically Kickstarter gets very good results. People, it's very good promotion. They don't have to pay anything extra, and it blows up on Kickstarter because it gets all the eyes. So why would you not do your, like, as a company, if you have the ability to do your pre-orders through a service that just gets you a ton of views and a ton of guaranteed orders, why would you not? because yes, I know people are like, Kickstarter's the devil. Well, I'm never going to support Kickstarter. Blah, 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 blah. Rant on Twitter. The thing is, though, if you are a company, you look at $3.5 million raised Canadian in less than half a day, why would you not do that? Like, if you're a company, if you were running a company right now and you were going to sell a printer, why would you not do that? Why would you not? Don't hate Kickstarter. I don't hate Kickstarter. It's just, I look at Kickstarter as, if you want to support something on Kickstarter, if you don't, it's like walking into the casino with $100. You're like, I'm going to gamble $100 tonight. I fully expect not to walk out with any money. So, okay, so that Benchy finished in 21 minutes, 15 seconds. Yeah, I know it went down a lot, but that wasn't Carbon's fault. That is Kickstarter being crashed. But yeah, so they've got 2,300 backers. They've raised 3.5 million Canadian. Okay, so why would you not use Kickstarter if you're a company? Hey, we've got a printer. We're gonna sell it. We've got a warehouse full of them. We're currently mass producing production units ready to sell. We can either, you know, do a regular sell through our website and whoever happens to know us might buy one, or we could put it on Kickstarter. We'll get thousands and thousands and maybe millions of eyes on it. Why would you not? It's a 21-minute Benchy. So other than the bow, which looks like poo-poo, it looks pretty good. If it ships, it'll stomp all over the neck. Well, here's the thing with the bamboo, okay? So I'm looking at it from the, let me pull up their actual website. Because I'm not looking at the Kickstarter price, okay? So they have 3 different ones. They've got the X1 Carbon, which is what I'm getting and all the reviewers have. They also have the X1. The X1 doesn't have a hardened nozzle. It's a plastic body, I think, versus a metal body. There's differences. There's one's a cheaper machine and then one's a more expensive machine. And pretty much everyone who's got review units has the better one. But MSRP for the base one is $9.99, and then it's $11.99 for the X1 Carbon. Okay, so it's $1,000 machine. That's Prusa money. So if it comes out and it's like it delivers, which I don't doubt it will. I'm just, you know, cautiously optimistic, but it's $1,000 for the production machine. That is Prusa money. And here's the thing. A lot of people just want a machine that works. So when you look at Prusa Mark III and go, this is a 5-year-old machine and it's print slow. And then you got this for the same price and it's got all this extra stuff and it goes faster. How do you sell somebody who doesn't care about open source, who doesn't care about community? They just want something to print a damn boat. You know, they want something for work or school or for the kids to play with. How do you sell somebody the Prusa over this? That's the problem. And then, so they have, I hate websites that do this where you can't scroll. So they got that, and then they got their AMS, which is their multi-material unit that does 4, there we go. They have their AMS, which is their multi-material that does 4 filaments. And that's an extra $14.49. So I don't think you could buy it by itself. So that's $1,500. So reputation, that's the thing. So here's the thing. 6 months from now, Kickstarter's done. Production units, you can go on Amazon and buy these machines. You know, it's Christmas time. They got $200 off retail price or $50 off retail price. And they're delivered and they're out and they're working. How do you justify it then? Like, that's the thing. If they can make, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's looking at the specs and the form factor and everything, if the machine delivers, the machine will deliver. It's just if the machine delivers, if it's out there in quantity. You know, they put out a blog post addressing some of the questions they got about open source. Some of it, you know, not the greatest, like their slicer that they use is based on slicer. So it's slicer, Prusa slicer, super slicer. It's based off that family. So part of that is they have to release the source code. They said they will in, I think, when the machine releases. Technically, you're supposed to release it as soon as you fork it. They're waiting until it's out, I guess. I don't know. I can't control them. You know, compared to some companies that don't even do that shit, whatever. They've said if the company goes under, they'll just open source everything. They'll push it all out there so people can do whatever with it. It is what it is. Some people just want a machine that prints and they don't care about the whole open source thing. So, yeah, firmware and board are proprietary. They develop their own controller, their own firmware. They develop their own, so. Is it known if it can slice offline? From my understanding, you can upload to it via SD card, and the slicer, since it's based on super slicer and Prusa slicer, you should be able to slice offline. However, I believe you can go through their app as well. So you can connect your, like, through their slicer, through the net to the printer and upload that way. I don't think you need to be on the same network. I don't know. Will the Voron team do something like AMS? Ta-da, that thingy. You put that thingy on that thingy. Multi-material is not something the Voron team is super huge into. Et, who did the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder, is part of the Voron team now. And there's a mod for a tool changer Trident setup, I believe. And, you know, Eddie's working on his IDEX setup. But it's multi-material is always going to be a fickle beast when it comes to 3D printing. There is no perfect way of doing it. And the problem is when you're doing it with commercial off-the-shelf hardware only, it doesn't make it as elegant as you could do with, you know, custom stuff. So. Yeah. What time is it? So we're going to be ending the stream in half an hour. Let's do one more Benchy. Let's try and get a good Benchy out of this machine. We'll do one more Benchy. We'll try and make it, you know, somewhat reasonable. Intel 10, cheers, appreciate it. Holds filament too. Yep. But yeah, the thing is, there is no good multi-material setup. There is acceptable multi-material setups. There are multi-material setups that work, but there is no good multi-material setup. Let's be honest. Okay. See how this goes. Up the travel. It's 400 millimeter second travel. It's a Benchy. I don't think we're gonna get too much out of travels if we bump them up anymore. What do you not like about the ERCFA? Well, the ERCFA is fine. I got nothing against the ERCFA. I'm just saying the ERCFA has the same downside as any other single nozzle multi-material setup. You always have the risk of stuff jamming during the filament swap, and you have a ton of waste. The purge is horrible. Like Bender, when I printed the Bender here, okay, my purge block for this model weighed 3 times the amount the model weighs. Like, single nozzle multi-material is not an elegant thing. It works, but you're brute forcing it. You're basically throwing out a ton of plastic for nothing because you have to purge the plastic. You have setups like tool changers. Well, then you get costs. Like, there's no cheap. wasteful, expensive. Like there is no one solution. Also, single nozzle setups, you can't do multi-material well, because you're always going to have the issue of you don't purge enough material. So if you switch from one plastic to another, you always have contamination issues. So, any chance I'll be testing a continuous fiber machine? If somebody wants to send me one. People complain about the MMU2 and ERCFA because they're always going to be finicky. Well, the ERCFA is DIY. Mine, other than the buffer issue with mine, once it actually feeds and retracts the filament, that is like near 99.9% reliable on my ERCFA. My issue is the filament just falls out because I don't have a buffer on it, but I don't really use it. The Dragonfly works fine. Waiting on the nozzle heat up. So once this print finishes, we are going to do the draw for the Polymaker filament. So if you have not entered for the draw for the Polymaker filament, do this now, because we're going to give away some spool at around 5 p.m. Eastern. We're just waiting on the bed to heat up. But once the print finishes, then I gotta go pick up the little guy. Tool changers with ooze. Yep, ooze isn't as bad as purge, but still, like, there is no clean way to do multi-material. There is always going to be a downside, either in cost, in waste, time. You can't have a perfect setup. Have you heard about Mitsubishi doing a nozzle resin printer using the sun to cure a satellite dish? I've seen the multi, like the resin jet stuff. I've seen the resin jet stuff using the sun to do it. Okay. I gotta bump that speed up. That speed's slow. Yeah, still, yeah, you're always gonna have waste. You're always gonna have waste. It's either gonna cost a lot, it's gonna take a bunch of time. Like even the bamboo, you're looking at 30 to 45 seconds to do a filament swap. Because you gotta retract the filament out, you gotta put the new filament in, you gotta do the purge. I'm gonna do the patents for running Jenny's fire. I don't think people are gonna be doing that at home too much. Are there plans for a DIY IDEX? There's Eddie the engineer's working on an IDEX variant of the Trident. I am killing my voice. I am not going to be able to talk tomorrow. One of the best features of Revo having a dedicated nozzle for different materials. You don't have to flush out ABS doing PLA. That's true. But usually, like, it doesn't take that much to flush it out. It's just when you're doing the purge, then you're wasting a ton every time. But you can run like 100 millimeters through it. That's usually enough to flush it out. Rant less. No, I'm having fun. What are normal printing speeds for non-Benchy shape prints? Oh, like if you're talking about like my normal speeds and feeds, let me pull them up here. Okay, so unfortunately I'm going to lose everything here, but discard. So if you're wondering what my normal speeds and feeds, this is like what I normally run when I'm printing, like, printer parts. So this is my normal ABS profile speeds when I'm printing printer parts on a Revo machine. So I actually use this profile on all my Vorons, actually. All my enclosed Vorons run this profile. So there you go. So pause and write this down in your notes, class. Should I run Klipper on my Ender 3? Yes. Klipper is awesome. Especially, Klipper breathes new life into old machines. Like, so good. So good. What about palette? The problem with the palette, okay, so the palette 3 doesn't even work with Klipper. Like you're severely feature locked using it with Klipper. Like a lot of stuff doesn't work. The problem with the palette is you are limited to printing slope. The splicing mechanism takes time, and a Voron will easily outrun the buffer at normal speeds. So you have to like, you're speed limited with the palette. And also, because of the splice isn't a perfectly accurate and remembered location, you have to purge a crap ton of material. So, Norntech just got some CFPC. Should I make a high temp V2? Go for it. Run Klipper on everything. The problem is finding Raspberry Pis. So the plan with this is I do have, let me find one here, 'cause I got a bunch of them. One will go with that. We'll go with this one. Don't matter, they're all the same. So the plan is, I think the which one is this? MKS Robin? Does the MKS Robin have UART? So it's the MKS Robin Nano 35 is that the model I have? Let me find it here. Yeah, so the plan is I'm just gonna throw a regular Raspberry Pi Zero in here at some point over UART. The only thing is, I don't think the Pi will get too good Wi-Fi if it's in the controller or in the bottom here. So I'm gonna have to like, I'll VHP it to the side with some wires or something. I got a Pi 4 from Connecticut a few weeks ago. Nice. Is the Triangle Labs CHC hotend? I don't know what the Triangle Labs CHC hotend is. UART is the unpopulated pins in front of the Wi-Fi module header. Okay, that's good. So I do have it. Okay, that's good. What is it? Triangle Labs CHC nozzle? Toolhead? What is it? Oh, it's a ceramic core hit. I would stay away from these. They're kind of like old tech. They're not like the Revo. You guys still screw your nozzle in. Not a huge fan of them. It's not like the Revo is like made a different way, and it's a whole like you're still screwing in, you're torquing it. Is a Pi 3A? Yep, Pi 3A is perfectly fine. Toasty runs a Pi 3A. Pi 02, Pi 3A, and anything better than that, go for it. On a server and multiple Dockers instead of use Pi. Go for it. Kiao, I think, can handle that, or is easier for setting that up. I've never actually played with it. I have a thin client here I've been meaning to try, but we'll see. Stack 2 of those for a huge melt zone. Yeah, just get a nozzle or a volcano nozzle and just screw it all the way through both. Can a CNC run Klipper? Klipper lacks a lot of the CNC features. Like there's a lot of G code that CNCs use that 3D printers use, so you may run into issues. Like turning a spindle on. I don't think Klipper understands turning a spindle on. So, like turning a spindle on, running a spindle backwards, arc curves, stuff like that, like G2 movements, G3 movements. Like Klipper is designed with 3D printing in mind, and 3D printing G code is not true CNC G code because it doesn't have everything that a CNC machine runs with. So if you try to feed it, you know, run spindle, you know, backwards, do a G3 move, and then M8 turn your coolant on, it ain't gonna know what's going on. Can my KitchenAid, if it has an STM32, go for it. Klipper has an arc function. Yeah, but it doesn't have, like, there is a ton of CNC G code. Like, does Klipper do G03? Can you do G03 in Klipper? Let's, you know, let's fire up Klipper here. Okay, so we got Klipper. There we go. That. Let's home all. $50, Y150, Z50. Okay, run that. Put that in the middle of the bed. Okay, so let's do a G0 command, or G03. G03, Y50 R10 F100. Unknown command, G03. Okay. Yep, can't do a G3. So that kind of ruins you there, because that's a circular interpolation, which G code runs. Like CNC works with that. Dwell time, like, let me pull up the website here. Okay. Yeah, so G00 rapid travels, G01 linear. So we know G1, you know. G2 and G3, those are circular interpolations of those moves. G4 dwell, G20, G21, we know that. So that's, you know, switching between imperial and metric, because you on a machine, you need to be able to switch between those because people work in different things, especially in North America. G90, G91, okay, we do that. G40, G41, G42. Does Klipper know cutter offset compensations? Like, there is a ton of G codes that, you know, CNC machines use regularly, that 3D printers, you know, G82, a drill cycle with dwell. Okay, Marlin ain't got that shit. Actually, Marlin might, because Marlin is used in some CNC machines, but pretty sure Klipper don't. But okay, I know I can enable arcs and it will do it, but I'm using this as an example that Klipper is designed for 3D printing. It doesn't have a lot of this, you know. It just doesn't. It's not built with this in mind. And then that's not even starting with the M commands, because there's also machine commands. There's G commands for movement, but there's M commands. You know, turning coolant on, turning the auger on for chip removal. There's tons of stuff in true CNC G code that is not in 3D printing G code. There's Klipper for CNC routers. Okay. The thing is though, like, routing, it very depends on the usage. Like if you're just telling it, you know, a router where you manually turn the spindle on and then it does some movements at some speeds and feeds, that's a lot different than actually doing full on, you know, full on proper CNC G code that's spit out by an actual machine, you know. I'm trying to remember the programs they use that work, because it wasn't Fusion, but like Mastercam or you know, Power Mill or something like that. There's, you know, there's a big difference there. Yeah, and you're not even talking about manufacturer-specific ones like Haas and whatnot. But yeah, basically, Klipper, technically, you could get by, but it's not... CNC is not fully supported by Klipper. and you'd be limited doing it. So yeah. So don't forget, we're gonna be doing the draw in like 15 minutes. So in like 15 minutes, or whenever this Benchy finishes. Whenever the Benchy finishes, we're doing the draw. We're gonna give away a spool of filament from Polymaker. Ooh. I think I'm doing pizza tonight. Is there any way to speed up fan updates? What are you talking about speeding up fan updates? Like, are you talking about, like, if you tell the fan to speed up, like, in your slicer, like in your control panel, and it takes a minute for it to update on the printer? Is that what you're talking about? Are there any quiet 5015s that you recommend? Not Gyazu. Where did my deltas go? I have deltas somewhere. Delta. Use a delta. Yeah, you can run pretty much anything that's, I think it's Debian base, can run Klipper, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, finding pies is a pain. Using the Hedamames, I'm daily drivering them. I'm using the Hedamames like they are my main headset on my computer. Like literally on Saturday's stream, I finished the stream, I went upstairs, I plugged them into my computer, I edited all of Sunday's video, so I was up to like 3 AM editing, and then I've been using them as my daily headphones since. They're great. They actually are really comfy and they work great. Which Core XY do you recommend at the moment? Voron? As for commercial machines, I haven't played with commercial Core XY machines, so I can't really give a direct opinion. Neuro Gaming Channel. Well, hey, maybe we'll do a gaming night on the Discord at some point. So, if you want to make sure you don't miss out on that, if that ever actually becomes a thing, you know. Oh wait, well, Discord will be public some point this month, but if you want early access, it's currently for members of the channel only, and Patreon supporters. So. Do I have a tutorial on the Pi Pico input shaper tool? I do. Let me. It's on my channel. Channel. Videos. There it is. Oh wait, no, is this it? No, that was a live stream. Where is the Pi Pico tool? There you go. Here you go. Boop. I have a channel? Yes, I have a YouTube channel. I'm a YouTuber. I'm just like PewDiePie. No, the screen will not work. This screen, like on this one, no. A lot of touchscreens are incompatible with Klipper. Some are. I know the Creality one is. The Panel Do is. The Panel Do works. But not all touchscreens are compatible with Klipper. A lot of them aren't. Because it has to do with the way that a lot of them run their own firmware technically. So you need to like, it reads like G-code. It's basically like a G-code interpreter or something like that. So yeah. What about the Bamboo Lab hyped? It's a machine that has a lot of good specs and prints fast, and everyone's all hyped about printing fast at the moment, so there's hype for it. KP3S or Ender 3 Pro. Here's the thing, let me actually look at the Ender 3 Pro specs. Disclosure, I've only ever used one Ender, and it was an Ender 3 V2. So, does the Ender 3 Pro have a 32-bit controller, or is it 8-bit? Ender 3 is both. Yeah, that's the thing. The new ones are 32. Okay, so here's the thing. The extruder on this machine is better. It's direct feed, so it's less of a hassle than Bowden. You got linear rails versus V-wheels. I hate V-wheels. Oh, I don't hate V-wheels. V-wheels, in my opinion, are the worst motion system on a 3D printer, other than, you know, wooden dowels and, you know, PLA bushings. So probably this one. This has better part cooling, better tool head. It's on rails. TMC drivers, they're quiet. The controller is easier to expand. Yeah. The thing is, though, watch my video on this. This machine does have some issues, though. Like, this machine is not, you know, the perfect entry-level printer. You know, I still say go get a Prusa Mini for that. But yeah, it is bigger. It's like 50 millimeters bigger in X, Y, and Z, though, right? Ender 2? I don't have an Ender 2, but the Ender 2 is all V-wheel, right? Like, I don't like V-wheel. I don't. V-wheel causes so many issues that people don't realize. Because, you know, aluminum extrusions are not accurate. They are extruded aluminum. You literally take aluminum, you take a hole, and you shove it through, and you get extruded aluminum, okay? Shove it through a die and you get extruded aluminum. So the thing is, though, that can be twisted. And if this is twisted, good luck getting good first layers if you're running like a bed probe or something. Yeah, I know. Prusa had to raise the price. I honestly expected it sooner. With heavy input shaper tuning will round the cores even at 20 millimeters a second. 20 mil? No. It depends. Because input shaper, I don't think that the amount it rounds the corner is based on speed. Like, I don't think it rounds it more based on speed, but it automatically rounds corners. But basically, because it's like just the way it is. But essentially, don't run too aggressive an input shaper. Nothing gives you something for free. If you want to print faster, you increase your accels. You increase your accels, you get ringing. If you want to print faster with less ringing, you run input shaper. The more input shaper you run, the more rounded your corners are, okay? So you need to find the balance between high acceleration and input shaper without the drawbacks. So if you're running input shaper and you're getting rounded corners and that's an issue in your prints, you're being too aggressive with your input shaper. It's not input shaper's fault. You told it to be too aggressive. Oh, you want to say hi, buddy? What are you being all mopey for? Oh. Can't turn the camera. There's the doggo. Oh, you go, boy. Oh yeah, it's law. That's right. Where's a good boy? Kisses? No? You just want pets? And to get fur all over my printer room. Where's your good boy? You okay there? I'm just gonna lie down. Well, this is my life now. Where's your good boy? Hello, Shake Paw. A pleasure to meet you. Silly dog. Oh. Goodbye. Came in here on his own accord. Yep, now everything I print in the next couple hours will be fiber and reinforced with dog fur. What do I think of the UHF? I don't think I've ever used it, so I can't really say. Niku! 100, cheers, bye Brewski. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. Cheers. Treats are upstairs. We don't keep treats in the room. We learn the hard way what happens when we have treats in the room. Remember. If I keep treats in the room, he just comes in the room every time I'm in here continuously, and he expects treats. What value? I usually leave it at the default value for pressure advanced smooth time. I usually don't mess with that too much. Turn the Vorons into bark forged. Funny joke. Okay, but yeah, we are going to be doing the draw as soon as this print ends. So literally the moment this print finishes, I'm closing the draw. So if you have not entered for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, we're going to be doing the giveaway like as soon as this print ends, which is like 30 seconds or something. So do this now. You can do it. Enter the draw. I am starving. I am starving. Pick up the little guy at daycare. Go get some za. Yeah. Some more likes. Is the like button broken? Everyone, make sure you go like the smash button. Apparently it's broken because, you know, what do we got? We got, how many people have entered? 622 people have entered for the draw, but I'm not seeing 622 likes. So the math ain't right. If the math ain't right, it doesn't work. Something ain't right here. How hard was this to clipperize? The documentation was a little eh. It worked. But I kind of screwed myself because I was a little, I assumed things because I'm so used to installing Klipper on using SKRs. So I kind of went at some things the way I shouldn't have because apparently it's different. So yeah. But we got it installed. There's 420 likes. You didn't want to jinx it. Aw. It's no longer the funny number, guys. If you're leveraging 8 Google accounts to try and win 1 spool of filament from a draw on a 3D printing channel, that's just sad. What board? It's actually it's a rebranded board, but it's an MKS Robin Nano 35, I believe, or something like that. We are running anywhere from, let's see, anywhere from 2500 to 7000 Excel. So it's 2500 Excel for the walls. Everything else is 7500. Have we ever hit 1,000 people on stream? I think the V0 stream we capped out. No, I don't think we've hit 1,000 on stream before. Like right now, how much do we have? 440 people. That's high. For normally we are. I'm happy if we hit 300. The 300 plus or minus 50 is usually what I average for viewers. This is higher than normal right now. I think we almost hit 500 during the stream. But we're going to be doing the smokestack soon, and then we're going to be doing the draw, so. The Win the Prusa stream, I can't remember what the Win the Prusa stream got. That was a fun giveaway, though. I like giveaways, but I don't like being a giveaway channel. Like, I you know, the way I have it set up with the Polymaker, the one Polymaker, I like that. I don't like being known only as a giveaway channel, so I don't really advertise them heavily. And I'll be nice. I'll give you until it actually finishes on my what you guys see versus what I see, because there's a delay. So I'm gonna wait until it finishes on the stream to actually close it. So a little bit extra time for you. But I know somebody's gonna enter at the very last second. Okay, closed. Somebody got in at the very last second. 643 entrants. So what time is it? It's 5:04. Okay, let's copy all these names. So while I'm copying these names, if you would like to support the channel, content I create, things I do, not be able to do it without your continued support, consider checking out some of the links in the description. Consider becoming a member of the channel, Patreon supporter. I would not be able to do anything like this without you, or continue to do the things I do without your support. So from viewers like you, thank you. Wheel of Names. So let's crash Wheel of Names like we always do. And for those that are throwing out numbers already, you are disqualified. Know the rules, guys. Come on. Come on. Any benefit of entering at the last second? No. But somebody got in like literally like 2 seconds before I closed it, so. Okay. Joke's on you, I didn't enter. It's 5:05. Give me a number between, how many slices are there? 5 and 16. 5 and 16. Let's go between 5 and 16. $14, that works. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yay! Uno, dos, tres, spin! So if you win, you will get an email from me after stream. You fill out the form, you get your filament. And it's from Polymaker, so shout out to Polymaker. Mike Thomas. Notepad here, and let me copy down your information. go. And luckily we only have one Mike Thomas, so that's good. Congratulations, Mike. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with a form that you will fill out. And then you will get some filament. Depending on where you are in the world, apparently it can take up to 3 weeks for some countries. So I know I got mine from Polymaker. They sent me a care package in like 2 days, but depending on where you are in the world, 2 to 3 weeks. And if you don't receive it in 2 to 3 weeks, or in about 3 weeks, let me know. Okay, the giveaway dance. I don't know. Honestly, I've lost my voice. My voice is completely destroyed right now. Note to self, don't do live streams when you're not feeling great. The medicine helped, but I'm going to be regretting it tomorrow. I know that. So, yeah, in the US, yeah, and like I'm in Canada, so mine came from Amazon Canada, so it shipped pretty quick. So Canada, US is quick, but if you're outside of that, might be a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna end the stream there. Hope you had fun today. We put Klipper on this. For the Friday print and chill stream, I don't know exactly what we're gonna be doing yet. We'll have some fun, and then I'll figure out something to do Saturday, because I don't really have too big plans yet. There's like 4 builds coming up. I've got 4 full builds. Either I've got the stuff here and we're gonna start it soon, or we're waiting on stuff to like finalize, and penciled in for 4 full builds of printers. And only 1 is a Voron derivative. So we're doing better in that regard. So I'll see you Friday. For those that donated to the channel or became members of the channel or gifted memberships or supported the channel in some way financially during the stream itself, I thank you. I would not be able to do what I do and create the things I create without your continued support. You make this all possible. For those that just joined the stream and hung out, had a good time, hope you learned something new. On your way out, make sure you like that smash button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not subscribed so you don't miss out on any future content. And shout out to Polymaker for providing that spool of filament for the giveaway. Yeah. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you Friday. Cheers.